G'day guys, Coffee here. Welcome back to another video on Legends of Aria. Today we're going to be talking about Mage. So I'm going to assume you guys have never created a Mage before, you haven't got another character that's going to give you copper to be able to help you with the game. So I'm going to be talking about some of the basic things about how you can get started, how to get some copper, and just to be able to make the Mage at the start, as it's going to be an ongoing cost for ingredients to be able to cast spells. Now it's definitely possible. You just need to start with a slashing weapon, or you need to start with a bashing weapon. Just a weapon that's not going to have an ongoing cost, just so you can have a little bit of money to back you so you can get going. Before we go any further into that, and we start looking into stuff like spells and how to get more spells, I want to break down to you guys about manifestation and evocation and the differences and what they are. So a ranger and a warrior, they level up based on what they're attacking. So if you're a level 60 warrior, you need to fight something around the level 60s in order to get gains. Now, with a mage, that's different in the way that you get gains based on the spell that you're casting. So evocation is all the spells that you can get that are offensive spells. And that will increase your evocation and your magic attunement if you're doing wands, as well as a magic affinity. Now, currently most people agree, as far as the people that I've spoken to, that magical attunement is roughly about 10% raw damage. So a lot of people will just leave that skill all alone and only do the original 4 skills: manifestation, evocation, magic affinity, and channeling, and then they'll do the new skill, barding, because barding seems extremely useful for group stuff, healing, mana regeneration, just a whole lot. Anyway, moving on, now that you know about magic attunement, it is an option. So that would be the 5th one. Evocation does the offensive spells. Manifestation is all about utility. So in order to level up manifestation, depending on your manifestation level at the time, depends on the spell that you need to cast to maximize your gains. So it's very difficult to explain. I do have some lists here. Okay, so to begin with, you would obviously start for healing. You would do your heal, and you can just continue to spam that heal on yourself, because it doesn't matter where you cast the spell, as long as it's being cast, gives you the chance to be able to get that gain. So you would continue to cast spells, and your objective is to drop your mana down as much as possible, okay? And then you would want to use your focus, which comes from the channeling ability. That's one of the 4 again. So focus, enter a trance, and quickly regenerates mana. That's what it does. So the higher your channeling is, you get channeling from using focus, the more mana you will get passively back, therefore being able to cast more spells without actually being overwhelmed by monsters. So you would manifestation, start with heal, and then you get to teleport roughly. And once you start using teleport, you just teleport all around town and try and have a bard nearby, because you're going to need to be able to get your vitality back up at an inn. So it's really ideal, so you don't have to leave town, just teleport around a bit, go to an inn, get your vitality back up. Then you would start casting greater heal on yourself between 45 and 55, or greater heal just in general, wherever you can on different people. Mark to 55 to 65 as an example, and then you would move on to cloak. So cloak was one of my favorite times, and I got huge gains at that point. I just started leveling like 10 levels within an hour and a half. It was really good. Okay, going on to evocation. Evocation would be similar. As you're going up higher in evocation, depends on the spell that you're casting. So you would cast fireballs up onto 35, 40, yeah, about around 40s, give or take. And then you'd move on to lightning, and you might do that to 45 or 50 as an example. When you no longer fail at all, and the gains really start, you notice the gains stop going up a lot, that's when it's definitely worth trying to use your other abilities. So previously, they made it so Rock Bombardment and Energy Bolt was not able to give you more gains over 90. Now, Steam release, which is the patch we've just got onto, and we're a little bit early to you guys getting onto Steam, it's actually not the case now. It's even given gains over 90. Rock Bombardment and Energy Bolt is going to be one of your main skills. They're high damage and single target damage. And then there's going to be Meteor. Meteor does an AoE. So Mage is a lot of fun. It's got burst damage. It's huge damage. But then you need to go back and focus and get your mana back. So there are some downfalls to it. Okay, that's covered a lot. That's covered a lot of different stuff. Now we understand more about evocation, manifestation, and channeling, and all that good stuff. You got all the basics down. So we're going to make our way to the west from the scribe if you've come to Eldia Village, and I hope you would have, because that's why you're watching this guide. And we're going to go to the Mage Trainer. So the Mage Trainer is going to give you a bunch of quests. It's a bit strange for an open sandbox game that doesn't generally have quests, but now we have quests. So you need to complete these quests if you're playing as a combat class. On a harvester, it's not that important, but I would do it still anyway because some of the easy rewards were actually okay. It wasn't too bad to do it. So as a mage, though, you absolutely must do it. So you come to this guy here and you say, "Profession, can you teach me magic?" And he'd be like, "Yes, yeah, yeah, yeah." And he says, "I can teach you, but you have to gather the required materials. First, obtain a spell book." Okay, well, you've already done this. Okay, you've already got a spell book from the scribe we would just add. Or you've started with a spell book because you're a mage. Speak to him again. Yes, yes, yes. So it's pretty easy. And then you're going to speak to him again, and he wants the lemongrass, but you've already got it. Then he's going to tell you to cast mana, missile. What a waste of time. I got the training dummy. Ooh. Nice. Okay. So I've done this before, and I swear that's just changed. So yeah, he's going to ask you to do some very basic stuff. He's going to give me some ginseng. He's going to give me some moss. So that's an easy way to get started. And then you can use those spells in order to craft a spell, do the lower end spells to be able to try and raise up your manifestation a bit more. The next thing you want to do is you do your apprentice mage. And he's going to ask me to go down the sewers. He's going to ask me to kill some lurker, or he's just going to kill 30 mobs. It was kill 30 mobs in the sewers last time. I will take you guys to the sewers just in case you don't actually know where it is. And then after that, he's going to ask me to go to the graveyard and kill some undead. You need to go kill like 20 or 30 of them. It's a real hassle, these quests. And I wish they weren't in the game. But I guess it does have some positives for those people that weren't able to get the books to be able to get new abilities. This is the sewers here. The books came from the awakenings and such. Then you didn't have the abilities for a long time. So this is definitely a little bit more friendly to some rookies. We just want to kill these guys here. So I'm going to run around. I'm going to kill the lurkers. I'm going to kill the bats. And then I will check back in. Okay, just a quick note before I leave the sewers. These lurkers here definitely drop more copper than the bats and the rats around the sewers. So while you're trying to complete your mage quest, it's definitely worth just sitting in this area and fighting these guys for the more copper. So I hope you guys actually did get yourself a slashing weapon of some sort, or any physical weapon for that matter, just so you don't have to waste all the regions. It's not wasting them, but you're gonna run out of regions, and then that way you won't have a way to get more money. And it's kind of sucky. You don't want to do that. So after you finish the sewers, it's about 30 kills. Come back to this mage trainer, speak to him, and he'll ask us to go and kill the undead in a second. No doubt. Progression, yes, yes, yes. So this guy's made it a little bit easier for you guys in order. Oh no, I forgot. The dispatch mission. Oh yeah. So they definitely made it a little bit easier for you guys to get an introduction to the game. However, for a lot of the established players, this is just a waste of time. So we're going to go make our way to the west, and we're going to find a dispatcher. So while we're here at the dispatcher, I will do a guide on this, guys, but I'll explain it to you very briefly. The dispatcher is a person that will give you a job all around that area, appropriate to your level, and then you can go and complete that job by just killing mobs usually, and he will give you a bit of reward. Okay. Wait, sorry, that's what I'm gonna do. He's actually gonna give me a job. Awesome. So Soldier's Rest, Sacred Isle, or Orc Raiders at Aldir. So I'm close to Aldir. This is Aldir. The other Soldier's Rest is in this area, but it's way up there. So I'm gonna take this mission, and it's gonna give it. Oh, it's gonna be right over there. So I will see you in a second. Okay, so I made my way over here. You will probably be told to go somewhere else, most likely. And if you're at a lower level, you will get something appropriate to your level. Not what I'm about to fight. Last time I did this, I got some like hobgoblin bosses, and they were really strong. So I am hoping that these orcs that I've chosen are a lot weaker. So basically, you just want to attack the tent or whatever it is that you've got to fight. You don't usually. Yes, it looks like I'm going to have to. I'm going to have to fight these guys. You normally, the job is that you want to destroy the actual building where they spawn from. After you've attacked them, but what happens is that when you attack the tent, more will spawn. So after you guys have done your quest, which really won't be hard. It'll be very, very easy. At the mission dispatcher, just make your way back to the mage. We'll complete that quest, and then we'll get one more quest. Okay, so now that the mission dispatch has been done, finally, if you guys have not actually created your character first and you just use this guide as an information before you make your make your mage, I suggest that you guys make the fireball from the scribe before you go and do that, and then you can use the fireball to shoot the tent or whatever it is that you have to kill from a distance instead of using your slashing, and you will have the money by now from killing the lurkers down in the sewers. So continue your profession and you say, I was victorious, yada, yada, yada. And now he's going to say, okay, you've been rewarded with a training staff. Hooray. So this is the stuff that you need to use if you want to do the magic achievement. So that extra 10% bonus, but it depends on what your final build's got to be. Go ahead and interact with him again and tell him you want to be a profession journeyman. Okay, I did forget that the journeyman is what you select when you pick up when you hit level 50. So at the end of this guide is what you should be doing. All right, so basically it tells you to go and kill some zombies nearby a forest, nearby here, and then you just want to kill 20 of them, and then you come back here and you speak to this guy again, and then he wants you to go kill a lich. So that's what you would do. You would go kill a lich, and it marks it on the map just like the other quests have been. So I might do that in another video. We'll see about it. But what I'm going to tell you guys about Mage is to help you guys get the next spells. So there's two types of, well, there's one real type of mob that you want to get started on. First of all, I'm going to take you to a spot now that I know is pretty good. I'm going to show you some other locations on the map of where you can do it. So that's what the Journeyman Mage would actually be telling you to. So you've hopefully leveled up slashing a little bit, you've got yourself a little bit of gold behind you. You start off leveling up your manifestation and your evocation, and you've been casting your fireball, and you're starting to hit your 35, 40s. You know, you're in that area. Now you need fine scrolls and you need frayed scrolls. And we need those scrolls in order to be able to get the better spells. And as soon as you get 1 or 2 spells, you'll find that your life gets a lot easier. But we need enough scrolls just in case you actually fail when you try and make the scroll. Okay, now that's out of the way. Let's talk about where you get those scrolls. So I'm going to take you to a place now. Okay, so I've made my way all the way down to the Lich Ruins. So the Lich Ruins here, there's Lich, 1 or 2 of them. They are more powerful than the Bow Magi, which is our current target. The reason we've come down here is you're going to need to complete this after you've done 50 journeymen. So you can, if you want to and you don't want to rush it, you can just train your way up with fireball upwards of 45, 50, and then you can start your journeyman. But it's just not worth it. You know, you can get faster gains and progress through the game quicker by following this guide. Ideally, you would come here with another person and you would be able to kill the Bone Magi with somebody else to make it a bit easier, but they drop the fine scrolls, and that's the scroll that we need to be able to make different spells. And my guild leader over here randomly being here, very strange. So this Bone Magi here, we just kill this dude. For some reason it's not. Oh yes, it is. Never mind. So these guys have about 200 HP. They're definitely one of the weakest. They're the weakest target you're going to find that drop the finer scrolls. And then you can find the leeches when you find them. They will also drop the finer scrolls and perhaps the frayed scrolls. So after you guys have done this and you've got yourself some fine scrolls and you've made yourself the couple of new spells from the inscription table, the next target is the Halls of Corruption. So I want to show you guys a couple of different locations in case this is busy, but it's unlikely because there's actually a lot of spawns here. You want to, when I open up the map, if you click on Soldier's Rest, up about here, there's this place, these ruins, this big pillar, and there's a lot of Bone Magi there, and there's no leeches there. There's also just down here, the some Lich Ruins, I believe. It's right there. There's more Bone Magi, and there's more leeches. So that will help you guys if this area is full. So I got here from Velis. If you don't know how to get from Velis, you can use the gatekeepers, and you just teleport from this gatekeeper to the nearest gatekeeper nearby. So you'd be able to get from here to there and there, such and so forth. And then from the gatekeeper, which was Crossroads, over here to Velis, get yourself a horse at the stable because it's a 5-minute run. and just run all the way down here. Okay, and the Halls of Corruption, which I mentioned before. So this place is a little bit higher. So the recommendation is minimum level 50. You can do it at an earlier level. You could probably go there at level 35, 40 if you're as a warrior, because you can heal yourself and you've got more sustained, and you can kill the imps right at the start, and they drop frayed maps. They're one of the weakest creatures that just throw magic at you and they will heal themselves. But as you're playing the mage, you might struggle just a little bit more. But that's only if your challenge down low and you don't get 1 or 2 spells, which you will get from the fine scrolls. That's why I recommend you do the Bone Magi first, and then you come to here, the Halls of Corruption. So from the Eldia village, you just come along here and you follow along the river, and there's a little bridge there. Don't go over the first bridge, go over the second bridge, and you come along, you just go along that path. It's very easy to find. Just remember it's on that mountain right there, and you'll have no problem. So some of the perks that a mage will have that I want to talk about really briefly is the rune, the mark spell, and why the mage is so useful over some of the other classes and why it's my current main. This mark spell allows me to mark a rune in any safeguarded area. So now that the Steam is out, I can mark a rune that will allow me to teleport from my current location to all of these locations. Okay? To anywhere here. Except for it won't go to the wilderness. You can't teleport there. Now, something else that's incredibly useful about this is that not only does it teleport you to somewhere else that you've been before, but you can also use it to teleport other people to you. So for example, if you have a house and your friend goes to your house, okay, and you want him to come to you, you're able to cast your spell, the teleport, on the rune that opens up the portal to go to your house. And it opens up the other side of the world, so your friend can jump in that portal and come straight to you. So it's basically a taxi, which is just incredibly useful. And with the new skill Bard, you know, I can see the mage being in a very good spot for a long time.
That covers everything in today's video. If you liked the video, hit the subscribe button. You can check my other content here. If you'd like more information or a lover of MMO games, join our community, Variety MMOs. The links are below the video. Coffee out.